Up for debate. We mixed it up a little bit. It was Hockey Week across America, celebrating coaches, players, everything USA Hockey branded. It was also the anniversary of TJ Oshie's shootout goal, which I remember. I will have to tell the story of this first before we get into the for debate. So that happened the day after Valentine's Day, and my husband, that game, right? And it was in Russia, Russia? No, where was it? No, yeah.
Nagano.
It was against Russia. Sorry, not in Russia.
Yeah, Nagano. Thank you. But so it's like a 6 a.m. puck drop, right?
Yeah.
And I had told my mom I would come over for breakfast, and we'd have this whole we'd have mimosas and watch this game together. Well, my now husband had rented out like a nice hotel room. We wanted to bounce around, but I was like, okay, we have to go to bed at 10 because we have to get up at 6 so we can go watch a hockey game the next morning.
So romantic.
It was so romantic. But I remember I still have the video of us watching it at my parents and like my mom chanting Oshie and like watching Oshie score. So all of that to lead into the best moment in recent USA hockey history, with some Minnesota flair, that one of those being TJ Oshie's extended shootout victory against Russia. Obviously they didn't finish very well in those Olympic games, but it was very exciting.
It wasn't Nagano. I was just joking. It was Sochi.
It was Sochi. Okay, so we were right. Yeah.
I was joking. I don't want anyone to think that.
I was so confused.
Oh my God. Fred is spreading false information. I thought that was wrong, but I was like, you know what? They're probably know more than I do. I'm just going to go with it.
It's all a blur. What is time? Remember, time is just a continuum, guys.
It's made up.
Thank you for correcting yourself, though, Fred. We appreciate that.
Good work.
So that awesome display by TJ Oshie, who went on to beat Russia in that shootout. And you love to see the constant goal score, right? He got to keep coming back. So that was exciting. We also had Zach Parise's overtime goal during the silver medal game against Canada back in the day, 2010. And then you have Maddie Rooney, Andover native here, 2018 gold medal with the U.S. women's Olympic team. Yes, we did not include the 1980 Olympic team because I'm over it. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, listen, I'm not over it, but we wanted to stir the pot, and a couple of you were like, "What about the 1980 team?" And we're like,
we need them to win another gold medal so we can kind of give those guys a break. It's so funny because I know I've talked about this on the podcast. I got to have shots with those guys, or hang out with them, and they're so freaking sick of it. Like, can you guys please win another medal so we don't
need
have
a new gold medal
back? But everyone knows that's the gimme. Yeah. So that's why we mixed it up with Oshie, Parise, Maddie Rooney. Long-winded. I'm going to take a break. Alexis, what was your vote?
I went with the women's gold medal just because that was the game I remembered most clearly. I don't remember the other two as much.
You're a child.
I'm a literal child. So that one was only a couple years ago. So that one I remembered. That one was really fun to watch. And the reason that I picked that one was because when that game happened, everybody on my Twitter was talking about women's hockey and excited about women's hockey. And it was one of the first times that I could remember since really getting into the sports world and being prominent on social media, where people were like, my whole timeline was filled with it. People who didn't even watch hockey, people who didn't watch women's hockey, everyone was talking about it. And that was like so cool. I'll never forget that. And plus it was just an exciting game, an exciting finish, the shootout, the Lamoureux twins, like everything about that game was so much fun. So that's why I went with that one. And actually a lot of our followers picked that one as well. I think the Oshie one got the least amount of interaction. Handful of people picked the Parise goal. But yeah, I don't know. I just, something about that women's game was so fun. And like, still, people talking about that. The Lamoureux twins had just retired, within the last week or so. So it was fresh in everybody's mind. So that's the one that I went with. Plus got to give some love to women's hockey. Fun to see them having some success and advancing women's sports.
And like I said, you needed another gold under USA Hockey's belt. So that was the most recent gold medal that we had. So I agree. I was torn because as I told the great Oshie story, because that lives vividly in my head still. Like it was such a fun day with my family. And, we had this whole Olympic spread and watched the game together. But the Zach Parise one was equally as exciting. So I'm going to go with that one. When I went to school, actually, I was friends with a bunch of Canadians who played hockey on our hockey team. So naturally we got together. There is nothing better than USA versus Canada. It was
a tale as old as time.
Such a fun game. And then to have Parise score that to force overtime in this gold medal game. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was so freaking exciting. I mean, I think my face, along with every American's face, emulated that of Zach's.
And Zach Parise's face.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I went with. Unfortunate that Sidney Crosby, of course, has to score.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Fred, cut that out.
It's so funny. right after that game, I did my internship with USA Hockey, and they have this statue out in front of the buildings of like a hockey player. Ironically, it is a silver looking hockey player. So of course, this is all still fresh in my mind, that same Olympic year. And all my Canadian friends immediately said, wow, that sure looks pretty silver, doesn't it? And I was like,
oh gosh.
Damn. So those chirps, I live for those chirps.
I have a friend who lives in Toronto and, big Canadian, huge Maple Leafs fan, the whole 9 yards. And he will just randomly from time to time send me clips of Sidney Crosby scoring the game-winning goal. I'm like, don't do this to me. Like, this is just so irrelevant at this point. I don't want to see this. Like, no context. Will just send me a video. And I'm just like, wow, thank you.
Never forget. This. But no, I mean, that still was an amazing moment. And again, USA did well that tournament. They hadn't done well in the Olympics since. So hopefully change of tide is coming soon. But